Hi, I'm Steve Anderson from Amston Home Transition Solutions. I'm here today with Cate Evans from CB Realty. Hi Cate, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Steve. Thanks for having me here.
So we're here today to talk about a panel that we're putting together called Aging in the Right Place. Cate, would you like to just tell us what that's all about?
Sure, Steve. So Steve has invited me to come be with him today so that we could tell you about a great program that we're presenting. It's called Aging in the Right Place. And it's going to be 5 people who are coming together as a panel to answer questions and help seniors resolve some of the concerns they might have at this stage. So we are part of a group called Serving Our Seniors, a group of professionals, and we have 5 of us out of the group of 15 different companies that are going to get together on June 11th at Autumn Lake Healthcare in West Hartford. And it's a Wednesday from 12 to 2, and we're going to have each speaker give a short presentation for about 10 minutes about the subject matter that they know best, and then there's going to be plenty of time for Q&A afterwards. Steve, do you want to tell them why we put this event together?
Yes, because we work with a lot of seniors and we can see the anxiety that happens as they get older and they need to decide what to do with their housing, with all their belongings, how to navigate through the financials and with attorneys, and what is best for them going forward. So that's really what we're going to really talk about during that panel.
It's going to be one of those things where you may not realize that you want to bring your kids because they have questions too, or you want to understand, how do I make my current life more comfortable? How do I eliminate the worries that I have? Or whether it's financial worries or physical worries about how to navigate in this space. Or is it time to sell? I don't know whether or not it's time to sell. How do I figure that out? And we can answer all those questions for you, and we can show you many, many tips and solutions on how to have these problems solved with the help of others, so that you don't have to carry all of that responsibility yourself or get overwhelmed or exhausted by it.
Have you been to Autumn Lake Healthcare?
I have.
Isn't it nice?
It's beautiful.
If you've been to the West Hartford Reservoir, it's right across the street in a beautiful neighborhood. It's a beautiful community, and I'm sure Ashley will let you have a tour of the place when you're there.
So Ashley Rouleau is the person from Autumn Lake Healthcare who'll be attending. Mark Harrington from Horizon Home Mortgage will be presenting about reverse mortgages and helping people understand how their biggest asset could actually be something like a piggy bank for you if you need extra money. Nathan Craner from Craner & Hess, who is an attorney, will be there as well to talk about the planning that you can do as a senior and the documentation that you want to make sure you have. And then we also have Steve and me. So 5 of us will be together with you that day. We were talking about, why do we want to have a program like this? And we realized that seniors have a lot of questions and a lot of concerns, right? Sometimes people feel overwhelmed because they don't know where to begin. Sometimes people feel that they are nervous about asking for help because it provides perhaps the kids an opportunity to think that they can't handle it when they know they can. So sometimes they don't know what to do about the fact that their capabilities are changing. So we want to have an event where those answers and those problems can be resolved, or at least more information can be provided. So if you think about it, what do you want most at this stage? You're done raising kids, you're done working, and you want to be able to maintain your independence and feel financially secure and know that you are not going to have any problems when things are changing for you, when you're aging. And so these are all concerns and ways that you want to protect yourself and enjoy the most of your life, the quality of life. So that's why we created this panel, so that we could answer some of those questions and bring resources to people who are really trying to find a way to figure out the best way to maximize their pleasure and their fun for the next several 10, 20 years. That's how I put it. So, yeah.
And, as a senior, I can tell you that as you get older, you start to slow down and you can't do what you used to do. So it's time to receive help. Because I know most people spend their whole lives giving. and it gets a little tougher as you get older. So there's a lot of resources here that seniors can use to help them move forward. I mean, as we get older, we start to have some health concerns, and sometimes families aren't available to help. So it's just a great bunch of people that are able to help, because we're all passionate about what we do. We all care. I mean, the number one thing we do is take care of seniors. And it's in our heart to do that. We treat, I don't know about you, but we treat all our seniors as if they were part of our family. And we do what's right for them, and everything else falls into place.
I think it's great, Steve, that we're getting everybody together, because we're here to provide answers to questions. So I know you're going to talk about how people can empty out their houses or reduce their stuff, and how they can make their home safe. But I know that in real estate too, there's so many details that it's really helpful to have a professional who can handhold and guide you through the process. There's a lot of legalities, and we want to make sure that you don't have to feel overwhelmed with those details, because I'll take you right through my checklists, which take you right down the path to the day you shut off the utilities and hand over the keys and get a big fat check put in your account. But if that's not the right thing for you, then I'm here to help you also connect to Steve, connect to travel services. You know, if you need a driver, connect to in-home medical and non-medical care people. We've been working with a lot of people, developing a lot of resources, because we're here for the community. We're not just here to do our little jobs in our box.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about what we do at Amston. It's you know, with the seniors aging in place, whether it's in your existing house or moving to a smaller house or to a community, what's the common denominator? And it would be your stuff. And if you are moving to a smaller location, you need to make decisions about what to bring with you, what to donate, what to do with the balance of your items. So we'll talk about that. And there was a study done that about each person owns about 300,000 items, and that's crazy. So we work hard to help go through all that stuff. Then most people can't even fit a car in their garage because they have most of the garage filled with stuff, and I'm guilty of that. We'll talk about home safety inspections. If somebody decides to stay in their house, there's a whole bunch of things that can be done to improve the quality of their life. And at Amston Home Transition Solutions, we make things simple. We try to simplify seniors' lives, so we will do the work and you make the decisions. And should I stay or should I go now? That's another thing we'll be talking about. And Cate will talk more about that in greater detail. And then we also have a lot of resources. There's a lot of companies that we work with to help us seniors downsize, and we will have a resource guide to hand out at the time. I remember we were working with a senior female who was alone, and I went to visit her to do an assessment to see what her requirements were, and she was just full of anxiety and stress, and she didn't know how to do anything, and she was so upset. She had to sell her condo, she had to figure out how to move, and I sat with her, and in 10 minutes I came up with a plan for her, and I gave her prices, and she just sat back in her chair and she says, I can't believe you're going to do all this for me. And she didn't have to do anything except make decisions.
Yeah.
And we did it. We donated her stuff, we sold some of her stuff, we moved her to the community, and her condo sold, and she's happy as can be. So that's a quick overview about what Amston Home Transition Solution does. So would you like to talk in more detail about what you do as a realtor?
Absolutely, thank you. I've been doing real estate full-time for 13 years, and so many of us that are serving the senior industry start out because we recognize we've been doing it for our families directly. Whether it was my parents who had been for 36 years in a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath raised ranch, who needed now, because of my dad's diabetes, to move to one-level living. You know, his neuropathy on his feet was making it very, very difficult. His congestive heart failure, etc. So we start with so much more compassion and understanding because we've already been through it ourselves. And that provides great empathy and also an understanding that there's no rush. We want to be able to help people at their pace. So when it comes to the real estate industry, one of the things we're finding is we need to be creative with the solutions, and we need to be mindful about what's the driving motivation. So I'm asking you, is it about reducing your overhead so that you have more cash, you know, liquid for your other activities or for your care? Is it about your mobility and your comfort, that the design of the home was just great for raising kids, but now it's more space and, you know, more expense, and you don't want to come down the stairs every morning on your way to the kitchen in order to make coffee because you look at that staircase and you hope you don't wind up at the bottom of it some morning where nobody's around to pick you up. You know, there's lots of ways that people sometimes say, I'm going to move because I want to be closer to family. My kids are living in Houston and Baltimore, and I want to go be where the grandkids are. I don't want to be in the cold New England climate anymore. So whatever the reason is, I start by trying to really understand what are people's motivations, what are they trying to accomplish, what is their timeline, and what is the best approach to helping them find the best solution. So frequently, people are always curious about what's my house worth, because property values have jumped so dramatically in the last 8 years, and sometimes by 50% in 2 years, which means a house that would have sold at $265,000, you know, 2 years later will sell for $365,000, which is quite a jump. So it's a great asset, and that money might be best put into, you know, CDs and throw off $30,000 a year in income just from interest. You never know. That might be the best, you know, approach. So there's an evaluation of the property's market value, and also consideration about bringing in people to help reduce the stress and reduce the time to prepare the home, giving you options about whether or not you want to put it on the market and be in your new home before the next oil bill comes. We're also going to have a reverse mortgage fellow. Mark Harrington's going to be there.
That's a good thing to talk about now, because what is a reverse mortgage? He'll talk about that. Who's eligible for a reverse mortgage, and what does it mean? I mean, sometimes you hear some things about them and it's scary. It's not. I've talked with Mark. It's something that can add a lot of value to a senior's life and help them stay in their house if that's the right place for them to be.
As a realtor, I can tell you I have come into contact with people who have been in their homes for the rest of their lives using the equity from their home to provide them with some income. So it's one of those ways where people can say, I don't want a reverse mortgage because I don't want to lose my home. That's the beauty of it. You'll never lose your home because you're entitled to it for the rest of your life. It's really excellent. And
another person that's very valuable is the attorney. I don't know about you, but I'm not an expert in the law and all the different options. It can get very overwhelming. And there are a lot of things that can be done to help preserve the money that you've worked so hard for your whole life. And he'll talk about wills, senior planning, long-term care planning, what is a trust. I mean, there's just so many things that he will talk about, and we've been to other panels with a lot of different kinds of people, and the attorneys usually get a lot of questions because it's such a complex area to understand. So I think that's Right, that's my favorite part, is the attorney, because we
Yeah.
always learn a lot.
Nathan Craner from Craner and Hess, who's based in Avon, is going to be great at explaining even the basics, because I read somewhere that 70% of people don't have wills, and that may be okay if they think that the kids are going to figure it all out, but you're really leaving, you know, the state and the probate courts to make decisions on what happens. So he'll help with simple things like wills, power of attorney, so that if you have a situation where you need someone to help you make decisions, healthcare proxies, he'll help you understand what those things are, or if you already know what those things are, go on to the more advanced stuff, because they have great attorneys at that firm. I've worked with them for many, many years. So, yeah.
So it's a great group of people, and I'm sure Ashley from Autumn Lake Healthcare will give you a tour of the whole place, and we've been there many a time.
Yeah.
So it's really a great event, and I think you'll enjoy the afternoon there.
So we hope you'll join us on June 11th at Autumn Lake Healthcare. It's 1 Emily Way in West Hartford. It's a Wednesday, June 11th, from 12 to 2, and it's going to be very casual. You'll get good information. You'll walk away with answers to your questions. You'll have some ideas about solutions on how to eliminate your sense of overwhelm or worry, and you know, you'll meet some nice people, I promise.
And there'll be plenty of time for questions and answers at the end. And then there'll be refreshments, and it's all free. And there'll be handouts, and we'll even have a raffle. So I don't know what we're going to be raffling, but I'm sure it will be good.
There are several raffles. Actually, I've heard that we've got lots of raffle prizes, so your chances are very good you're going to go home with an extra something. But you'll want to RSVP to Ashley Rouleau. Yep. She's the person who's at Autumn Lake, and since that's where we're having the event, please give her a call at 203-564-7252. I know you can see that right on the screen, and you know, just RSVP by the 7th. We really want to see you come out, and don't hesitate to encourage your friends to come with you. Don't hesitate to invite your family to come with you, because often, like I said, I'm working with adults and their adult children, and so let them have questions answered at the same time, and you'll find maybe they'll cooperate more because they know you're working on it.
This has been awesome, Cate. I'm really looking forward to this, and I hope we have a lot of people, because it's always a lot of fun. And below you'll find the names and phone numbers of all the participants on the panel. So don't hesitate to come to the event. We're going to have a good time. And Ashley's phone number and her email address will be there, so don't hesitate to RSVP. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, and thank you everyone
Bye.
for tuning in today.
Bye.